Visible too?
Yes, yes, completely. Okay, now we can start. So, if your actions inspire others to do more, learn more, and become more, you are a leader. It's a beautiful quote quoted by John Quincy Adams. So, with this quote, I would like to begin our talk show named Conversation with Consultants. Good evening, everyone. I am Aditi Jain, Strategic Alliance Advisor of SK Associates and Group, and your host for today's talk show. Before we begin our talk show, let me briefly introduce SK Associates and Group. We are an ISO certified management consulting firm registered under the MSMED Act 2006 with the Government of India. Our mission is to provide consulting services to student entrepreneurs globally, covering areas such as compliance, operations, marketing, research and development, human capital strategy, and operations. Our passion lies in helping these budding entrepreneurs bring their dreams to life and contribute to global economic growth. As you all know, that entrepreneurship is a catalyst for change and innovation. It's a powerful force that can reshape industries, transform lives, and make the world a better place. We are committed to support student entrepreneurs on their journey, equipping them with the tools, knowledge, and networks they need to succeed. Now, before we begin our show, let's take a moment to introduce our guest for today. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome Ms. Rikita Swaroop, soft skill trainer and consultant at MIT University Ranchi to the special event. We are truly honored by your presence today and we are thrilled to have you share this momentous occasion with us. So welcome Ms. Rikita. So our first question for today is, as a life skill trainer and personality development trainer, so what inspired you to pursue a career in this field?
First of all, thank you, Aditi, and Team SK Associates to have me in this, small tete-a-tete with the students. Um, I'm from hospitality background, and being with the guests and being always in presence of the guests
Ms. Rikita, you are facing some network issues. Now it's better. We were not able to hear you.
Okay. All right. So, would you like me to begin
Yeah, yeah, now you
the
can.
answer?
Yes, yes. I believe if there is too much network issue, you can switch off the camera to answer so that we can hear you out.
Let me change the network. Maybe it will help. Just give me a moment.
Sure.
Looks like the network and the audio is not clear. Is it okay now? I changed the network.
Yeah, yes. Now we
Better?
can hear you. Yeah, yeah.
So as I was saying that the background of hotel industry had given me enough opportunity and insights into interpersonal relationships, being with people. However, one thing that I was not very comfortable with was the timing and the workload. So eventually, after working for 3 to 5 years, I realized that I would not like to have this life where I don't have time for myself and for the people and the family in future that I will have. So I shifted to teaching and training. However, I was not very comfortable again with the idea that the teaching and training into the hotel industry colleges is again very much inclined to syllabus. So I was looking at something which is not very syllabus driven. and I could see that the passion for teaching and training is there. However, I'm not getting a knack of it. So when I got myself enrolled into a program that was American and Hotels Lodging Association, that introduced me to the concept of facilitation. And from there, my journey began, that, empowering your participants to be the best that they can. And that shifted me to venture this field of training a little more. And at that time I was in Pune, and one opportunity came across where it was a call from ILFS, that would you like to be a freelance trainer for us, and whatever clients we have, we can then introduce you to different client sites. So Infosys happened for me at that time. And that was the journey that began for me, where I got into soft skills. And even colleges also, where I was applying, they said, with your background, there's one thing that we can offer, and that is soft skills. So I said, why not, let me try my hands into it. And uh, as I got into these trainings, and it gave me that space to interact more with my participants, work more with them, and not only helping them hone their skills, I was also learning in the process. So I said, I think I have found the purpose of my life, which is aligned with my career goal as well. And that journey began.
Great. Thank you for sharing this.
Pleasure is all mine.
So, could you share a memorable experience like where you have witnessed significant growth in an individual's life skill or personality through your training?
All right. Here, I would also like to add that in my journey of becoming a professional of soft skills, around 8 years ago, I got introduced to Heartfulness. So before Heartfulness, which is an institution, which is an NGO and non-profit organization, which is into meditation, I was doing my job well. However, there always used to be, at the back of my mind, has the training gone well? Have I given my 100%? Are the participants satisfied? The organization which has called me, I hope everything went on. So there used to be a lot of so-called doubts, and fear that if the ratings would fall, and if I have not done my job well, though the output was there, but still there used to be something which used to be always uh, doubtful, that whether the work has happened the way it should be. So this introduction to heartfulness meditation eventually started making me a little more peaceful, making me a little more insightful, making me a little more, getting into the connection part with my participants. So yes, now I have many students who say that it's not only your training, but also the introduction to meditation and relaxation, which I do to all my participants, either in the class or out of the class, as and when it is okay with them and appropriate and as per their desire. However, we just had a meeting before your call. It is called a Youth United Program for Youth of Jharkhand. And being the state coordinator for Heartfulness, I was also part of that particular workshop. And we invited three of our guest speakers who are among the youth, and whom I had trained while I was with them, and in one of the college. So these three participants, when they shared their journey, and time and again, they said that it's not only your training session, but also the inclusion of heartfulness that you introduced us to. That now we are in job, yet when we have to make very tough decisions, or when it comes to creativity, sitting with my own self, meditating for some time, opens doors of so many other aspects, which probably may not have happened if I would not have been meditating. So one of the student is now working for Bollywood, and has also gone into Hollywood. And VFX is what he is somebody who is supposed to work for. One of the other speakers, she is now working for Byju's as a teacher, and the third one is working with Ernst and Young. And these three students have always been with me, not only me telling them, what is to be done, but whenever I have needed them to talk to the youth, and share their experience of how the training have helped both the materialistic life as well as their spiritual life. These three and many more students are there who just say that it has helped them. So that really makes me feel delighted, fulfilled, satisfied that I'm able to help them through His grace, not only into their exploration into the materialistic life, but also somewhere they have started the journey of spiritual life as well. And as my own global spiritual guide, Daji, who heads Heartfulness, says that, we all are like a airplane which has two wings. So if you focus only on one, how long do you think your plane is going to fly? So this is something which is really beautiful, that we just cannot fly with only the materialistic aspect of our personality getting groomed, leaving apart who am I. And when somebody says or critically analyze us that, this is not good, this is not good, or this is bad, this has to be improved, we do not like it. But where do we sit with our own self to analyze that where we are going wrong, or what is my weakness, or what is my weak area? We do not do that. And until and unless you do not do some kind of meditation, you do not take out time for yourself, you or me or anybody in this world can never reach to that full potential that we all are capable of.
Exactly, very well said.
Thank you.
So, what unique strategies do you employ to engage and motivate your trainees during your training sessions?
All right. This is the best part of the training that I love, and along with my participants, is planning of activities which are relatable to them, where they are looking for some fun activity in the class and through the session. And when you say there is no padhai likhai that is going to happen today, let's play some game and have an activity. So once the activity is there, and when that fear of being evaluated, or aaj fir se wahi baith ke hame, have to look at the ppt or write something, when that has been taken out, the engagement is absolutely 100%. Initially there is little bit of hula hoo that is happening, but eventually when they start settling down into the activity, they are into the activity. And the activity or the class, when it is starting with a 5 minutes of relaxation and centering, it further activates them to be in the class, be with what's happening, right? So once the activity has been done, everybody has participated, then comes the debriefing part, where we give some self introspection questions, some questions on their leadership or whatever has been the topic about their problem solving skills. So, primarily, I try to bring in the components of life skills into debrief under different questions, which they individually first think about, and then there is a group discussion, and there is an interaction that happens eventually, and then connected to the subject that or the chapter that I am about to teach. So 50 minutes, if it goes into an activity, I think it's worth of a time, because now your participants are with you. Teaching this or training this or facilitating their learning of this particular group of participants is much more easier, I would say, and fruitful than telling them that this is the PPT, start listening to me, and that's all for this particular chapter. So I have never liked that kind of teaching, and that's why whatever opportunities came my way to hone my own skills, I kept on trying, and have been, I think, doing a okay job, is what my participants' happy faces say that.
Thank you for highlighting it. So, as a consultant, how do you approach problem solving and decision making in challenging situations within your area of expertise?
Okay, thank you, Narendraji. I loved what you have just mentioned. Accountability, yes, it's very crucial. Uh, Aditi, if you can just repeat that question once again, let me just mull over it.
Sure.
Mhm.
So, as a consultant, how do you approach problem solving and decision making and challenging situations within your area of expertise?
All right. The first journey begins with, or the exploration starts with, what do I know about that particular situation, and how much do I know? Will it be enough to deal with or cater to that particular problem which is there? And then I explore that, what are the other things that is available on the same problem or on the same particular situation. How have people dealt with it? And like I said, meditation is the key. And when enough of that exploration has happened, and when I sit for meditation, a lot of times the clarity of the problem is much more than what it is when I'm just with my open eyes, I'm just thinking about or pondering on that question. And a lot of times, one or two sessions of meditation and cleaning, and the problem is so clear, along with some solutions popping from here, popping from there. And more than that, it settles me so much that now I'm ready to face it, whatever there is. This much is what I could prepare for, this much is what I could think of, and let me now be on the ground and in the battle and see what is there. We will take it up from there.
Thank you for sharing. So, in your
I
role as a
okay.
so
I
sorry,
hope
yeah, yeah,
the answers that are coming are making sense to the participants and to you. And if you would like me to add something
definitely,
at any point, do let me know.
definitely. So, in your role as a soft skill trainer, what do you consider to be the most essential soft skill for individual in today's professional world?
I would say interpersonal skills, because ultimately the world is all about you and me or not only you. So if that connection cannot be there with an effort, um, I think whatever I know or the other party knows, there will never be a bridge to have that exchange. Um, and there can never be even the possibility of a win-win solution if we are wanting to have. And on this juncture, I remember one example which I have come across while I was searching for negotiation skills example. So there were two friends who were fighting over an orange that I would like to have the orange. The other one was saying I also would like to have that orange. So there's one orange, and both the parties are wanting to have the orange. So finally they were like, we can have it in this way, that let's cut it. One half is yours, one half is mine. So again, the argument started that if you will cut it, you will cut a bigger piece for yourself and you will give me a smaller piece. So I'm not happy with this suggestion. So the friend who proposed this, he said, okay, fine, the knife is yours, you cut it. So this friend who had a doubt that the other person would cut a bigger share for himself, he said, now this sounds fair, let me cut it. So they have cut it, and now it was like, let's talk a little more about what would you do with this orange. So uh, the first person who said, he said, let's call him A. A said, obviously, I will eat the pulp. I love orange. So he asked, what are you planning to do with the other half of the orange? He says, oh, I'm not interested in the pulp at all. I like to have that rind, the orange rind. So this friend was like, what would you do with that? He said, I love to bake cakes and I love orange cakes. So I'm going to use the rind for the cake. So this friend said, then what would you do with the pulp? He said, I would be happy to share that pulp with you. So you can have all the pulp, and if you don't mind, maybe you can pass the rent to me. And I would be happy to have maybe two cakes, and I can share the cake with you as well. So, what I was trying to say is interpersonal skills, and the whole idea of interpersonal skills begins with communication. So, I would say interpersonal skills, intention, and the second is communication. If these two things can happen with the whole idea to connect with the other person, understanding or guessing into the needs and feelings of the other person, and deciding how do I um, proceed with this conversation, and maybe eventually reach to something which is called as a request, that what is it that I'm wanting to have from this particular conversation. And if it's stuck somewhere, then maybe I can request that this is what I'm aiming to have from this conversation. So not only the fruitfulness of the conversation or communication would be there, but there would be something meaningful as an outcome that would come for both the parties, is what I would say about these two elements, communication and interpersonal skills. And if these two are at place, your problem solving, your decision making, your logical thinking, your creativity, your leadership, I think everything starts falling in place. Okay, there is a message here. Should we look at it? What is it? Yes. Yes, Mr. Narendra. I agree.
Exactly, very well said. Thank you for sharing that example. It was really great. So, how do you incorporate mindfulness and meditation techniques into your training as a trainer for heartfulness meditation? So, what benefits do you believe these practices bring to your trainees?
Okay. I would not talk about mindfulness because that's not my area of expertise. I would talk about heartfulness. That is what I'm practicing. Like I said, that when we all come together, for example, this particular meeting, I was into something else, you were into something else. Our participants were probably doing something else. But the moment we all came here, probably if this session would have started with a bit of centering, that let's close our eyes for a second and just think about why we are here and what is it that we are aiming for, and just bringing our entire attention to one point, like the magnifying glass which brings the whole sunlight together, and it has the capacity to burn the paper within, like this game that we all played when we were kids. That is what can happen to the focus. So if I am focused, I know the quality of work, I know my commitment, I know I am absolutely ready to face whatever is in front of me. So coming back to the trainees or the students or the participants who are there in the class, once they are centered, and I don't call it as wastage of time out of 50 minutes of a class. It is an investment of time for the remaining 45 minutes when you have people who are absolutely with you 100%, is what is the magic of doing any form of meditation. I can talk about heartfulness because that is what I'm practicing. So once they are into it, they are peaceful, I am peaceful, both the parties, the giver and the taker. And this role obviously will keep on changing during the session, where I would be the listener and one of them would be the speaker. The transaction becomes smooth. And then it helps creating the classroom environment, which is much more safe, which is much more, lighter, where they are not fearful of being judged, because when you are meditating, the judgment and evaluation is something which is kept aside. We are not here to judge anyone. So all that trust and all that faith when starts building in your students, it becomes easy for the flow to happen from the speaker to the participants.
Exactly, very well said about that. So, as an adjunct faculty specializing in business communication, so how do you stay updated with the latest trends and practices in the field, and how do you integrate them into your teaching?
Okay. The faculty development programs, which happens through the different colleges, plus there are a lot of FDPs that happen in Heartfulness as well. Attending these programs, listening to other colleagues, counterparts in different parts of the country and the world, gives a lot of insights into what is happening. So whether it is the organization where I'm working, if it's their FDPs, which is an opportunity for me to explore, I try and to explore as many as possible. Uh, Searching or surfing on Google for a faculty or for a trainer is not enough until unless that person starts working on himself or herself, along with attending these faculty development programs, conferences that I was saying. Watching some online videos, watching or being part of some online sessions also helps a lot. Even this particular platform that has been offered to me, it's an excellent opportunity to test my own self. What is it that I'm doing? And once this recording would be over, probably I would like to see what have I done, how was my body language, how was I speaking, was I relating to others or not. So there would be a lot of other parameters on which I would we doing self analysis as well, that whatever I'm teaching to my students, am I following it or not, or there is scope for improvement.
Right, thank you for highlighting. So, how do you balance
Right.
your role as a trainer, consultant, and educator to ensure effectiveness and impact in each area?
Trainer, educator, and consultant.
Yeah, yeah, consultant.
Okay. Now, being a consultant opens a door definitely for a lot of opportunities. The educator is somebody who is wanting to probably introduce a concept, and being a trainer, the focus is entirely into facilitation. So let's say I have a few sessions in my week. I would not be taking up more sessions that I'm going to do justice to, because planning a session takes a lot of time. You are conceiving the idea, you are planning the training, you are planning the activities, you're planning the debrief questions. Then sometimes there are unexpected glitches if it's online. There are some unexpected interventions which happen in the offline classes. So keeping time for that, having your own peace, your own health, all that balancing has to happen. So I do not take things which are more than that I can handle. I may have to let go few opportunities, maybe few bucks here and there, but the quality of the delivery is very, very crucial to me, and my health is very, very crucial to me. So balancing, jitna ho sakta hai, I aim for that. Money is not very, very important enough so that I can save and I can eat two good meals and sleep well is what I aim for.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing.
My
So,
pleasure.
can you share insights from your experience in the hospitality industry and how it has shaped your perspective on management?
All right. Hospitality and if I talk about hotel industry, it's a 24/7 industry that keeps running. And when I was a trainee, when I was an intern, I saw my seniors, the hard work that they go through. And sometimes when they have to do double shifts, yet that smile used to be there wherever they were. So how would they keep themselves floating, even though the work demand and the work pressure is there? It is something which was instilling a lot of you know um, I would say a lot of faith in myself, that if I would be determined and sincere and would like to complete a task, I am the one who is going to decide. So sometimes the situation may be such that I may have to compromise on something, I may have to leave some commitments, but this is what I am supposed to do. So this aspect is your individual part. Now, the industry is managing the show in spite of whatever is happening outside. Now, most of my training happened in Chennai, and the five-star properties like Park Sheraton and Tars and Oberoi. I saw that in spite of the bad weather, the hotel kept running. In spite of the bad weather outside, people who were in the hotel, they were given some time to rest and then again rejoin the shift, so that the whole hotel is running as much as possible. If there is an irate customer at the reception, how the front office people are handling. If the person who is at the reception is unable to handle, there is somebody who is watching this and is, chipping in and handling the situation. So a lot of this aspect of how the show is being managed is something that we as hotel management students have witnessed, and I'm sure all the students who have worked in the hospitality industry, that customer is the king. That is one side. The second is that for them it is their first experience with your hotel. Probably you given the best whatever you are capable of. You may say that it's the end of my shift and I'm tired, but for the customer it could be the starting of his, you know sorry, the uh, I would say his expectation that my stay would be memorable stay for him or her. It's beginning. So who am I to steal away that eagerness, that enthusiasm with which he or she has come to this hotel, saying that, this is the end of my shift and I'm tired. No, you just are not allowed to feel, and you are not supposed to reveal that on your face. You have to be still like, welcome sir, welcome ma'am, and here we are, and let's give you the best experience and the memorable experience that we are capable of. So that definitely has instilled a lot of soft skill, knowingly or unknowingly, and I'm sure every hotel management student in turn would have would agree with this statement that this industry prepares you for every industry and for every situation.
Thank you for sharing. So, what are some common misconceptions about working in hospitality and how do you address them with your students?
Okay, the common myths that you have to smile and it's a plastic smile. I do not agree with that. Um, the smile always is genuine. You just cannot have that plastic smile. And the moment you say it's a plastic smile, the person who is across, he's not fool. He or she would be able to understand whether it's a plastic smile or a genuine smile. And smiling is something that motivates you to. It encourages you to, and it makes you more ready to face whatever the situation is in front of you. So that is the first myth that I would say about the hospitality industry that people have. Um, I would again at this point of time in my life will not say there is no work-life balance. It's like how and what is your definition of work life and what is it that you understand by balance. So it's very individualistic that what do you call as work-life balance? If you are gaining something from your job which is adding value to you not only in your personality but also in your overall career growth, which is also adding value to your professionalism for your professional skills, what is the harm for a youth to spend, let's say, 15 16 hours in the industry or at the workplace rather than roaming outside on the street and doing things which does not make any sense? So I would say that youthfulness is something which is a blessing. You are full of energy, you have a lot of potential, you say that I can do this, I can do that, but invest in yourself, invest in your time, and do the right investment of your time, and the world is waiting for you. So how do you decide? It is what I would say. So these are the two things that I would like to address.
Very well said. Thank you. So, how do you see technology evolving within the hospitality sector and what implications does this have for future managers?
I am not a very big fan of technology. I somehow feel that this is creating a lot of um, gap between what two human beings can offer to each other. Just the other day, I was seeing two young boys crossing the road, probably in the youth age and maybe in college, and there was a beautiful girl who was going from this side, and they were busy looking at something in the phone. So I was like, if this phone would not have been there, they would have looked at this girl whom probably they are searching on the phone. I'm not aware what are they searching for, but what I'm trying to say is a lot of opportunity gets lost with we thinking that technology is the answer to ABCD problem that we are facing. Um, to an extent, yes, it has made life easier, but on the other hand, I always feel that because of technology, there is so much of demand on everybody, so much of pressure of performing on everybody, that we have been robbed of our moments of joy, the moments we could spend with each other. And it's nothing new that I'm saying. I think, and I'm sure you all are experiencing that. If this not would have been the technology, maybe would not have been spending a Sunday here, right? We are like, aaj to Sunday hai, we are not able, we won't be able to connect. So probably there would have been office, and Monday to Saturday we would be uh, being with each other. um, as far as the hotel industry is concerned, yes, it is helping them to um, do a lot of fine tuning to their work. It is helping them to reduce their job. A bit of their workload has reduced, but other kind of workload has increased. That you have to be too vigilant. Even the minor mistakes are not forgiven. So I don't know. I'm really have my own um, feelings about this, that it has gone too much and too much of technology. A balanced approach definitely is helpful.
Thank you for sharing your perspective on it. So, what emerging trends do you foresee shaping the future of hospitality management, and how can students prepare for these changes?
All right. Um, Emerging trends are again mostly into the software, and the AI is also there, which is helping in a lot of areas of the different departments which are there in the hotel industry. You call it housekeeping, you call it front office, you call it kitchen. You are there for the front office, for the food and beverage service, and these trends are something that changes so fast that by the time you have got adapted to something, and there is something else that is emerging. So my suggestion would be that the time that you are into your final year, you need to explore that what is it that's coming up new. The point of your exploration could be the magazines which are coming up, your internships that you get enrolled yourself, and very specific to the hotel that you have done your internship from, because every hotel has got their own set of softwares, their own set of vision that they have. Aligning yourself with those visions, aligning yourself with those trainings are the only way that you will be able to keep yourself up with the trend that's emerging, because otherwise it's an ocean. You probably would be lost. Maybe let's say you upgraded yourself to A, and you got into a hotel, but there is something which is H that is being followed by that particular hotel. So your entire investment, your entire focus here may not be much of a use. So whatever is generally happening, keep yourself updated again through your internships and maybe the Google search. However, do not master any one technique until you have not been absorbed into a hotel, is what I would say, with whatever little experience I have of the hotel industry.
Great. Thank you for sharing this. So, how do you integrate sustainability principles into your teaching of hospitality management, considering its growing importance in the industry?
All right. Again, I would go back to the hotel industry. Um, right from the time when you are into your first internship, because different colleges offer this internship at different juncture of their um, uh, education. Few colleges say you intern after every year. Few colleges say you spend, let's say, three-fourth of your time in the college, three-fourth of your total course in the college, and the one-fourth will be dedicated to your internship. So once you have gone to the college, what internship program is going on, you first follow that. Based on that, let's say it's your internship is after every year. So you have gone for internship on the first year to a certain hotel, figure out and find out what is happening on the sustainability front in different departments. You may come back and maybe you can take up a project right at that time, or maybe in your final year, work on it. That could turn into your thesis, that could turn into your future research work, and you may go back to this particular hotel after your fourth year or after your third year and say that, this is what I saw at that time, and this is what I have to offer when I would be joining you at whatever designation and whatever position or whichever department. Now, that's one part when it comes to the sustainability, which is visible to the eyes, which is more tangible. But that sustainability mindset is something that these students have to work on. That you just cannot have use and throw mindset now. We have reached to that point in our lives and on this planet that you just cannot have anything which is use and throw, be it your knowledge, be it your practical things which are maybe your tangible things. You have to have that mindset that how do I make it sustainable, how can I consistently be with this particular idea or be with this particular process, so that I'm not misusing anything and I'm not burdening the nature to produce more and more anything for that matter. So the sustainability mindset is the key to have this sustainable ideas. And if that mindset is not developing, and for that mindset to develop, probably we all need to check our own daily lives. What are we doing with, let's say, a bottle that I have at home, or that particular plastic pouch that I have home, the gift box that has come, what am I doing with that? So until unless, if that does not happen in our day to day life as an individual, sustainability is a far fetched dream. N number of talks you attend, nothing can happen because you are not applying it, you are not implementing it, whatever you already know. So the key is, let's develop that mindset first, then talk about, then you will have end number of solutions to every area that you would be working for. And I think from there, this uh, whole change that we are looking at sustainability development can start.
Great. Thank you for highlighting. So, in your opinion, what qualities or attributes are most important for success in hospitality management, and how do you cultivate them in your students?
The most important personal qualities, I would say again, it begins with self. The self awareness leading you to self management, leading you to um, have a logical mind, your creativity, and your intention to bring changes wherever you are working, at whatever designation you are working. The willingness to do something, the willingness to participate, and thinking very, very logically, completely, that what is it that I am wanting to do when a particular designation is going to be offered to me. And even right now in the college that you are in, as a student, what do you aim for? Only marks? And we all know only marks at this era is of no use. You may be the topper of your class, but if you do not have awareness to how to connect with others in a team, if you do not know how to work in team, if you do not take initiatives to do some changes or solve a problem or offer your wisdom to a problem which is right in front of you, none of us are of any use to anybody in this world. So not for the limelight you should be doing something, but you should be doing something because it makes a lot of sense to others and to that particular work that has been given. So we all are like, those puzzles of that jigsaw. I may have some qualities, I may have some weaknesses as well, so there is somebody else who can cover those weaknesses and would propel this entire team towards complete success, or team towards achieving that particular goal. So be ready to give and be ready to forgive and continue with that journey.
Exactly, very well said. So, what resources or tools would you recommend for individuals aspiring to enter the field of soft skill training and consulting for self education and skill development?
Okay. To this generation, guiding on this, I think I'm too small for giving this advice. Probably you all know it better than me. But again, why are you wanting to have that tool? That clarity is very important to you. You know how to do it, you know what to do it, but why are you doing it? Please be clear on that, so that you are on the right track and that outcome makes you happy and fulfilled and satisfied, that this exploration was something which was good. So um, not only Google, talk to people. And who are these people? They are your seniors, they are your teachers wherever you are studying, they are your mentors. Once you get into your internship, make a guru out there. Start your networking as early as possible. Keep talking to people. Keep giving interviews. Do as many internships as possible. Go for as many ODCs as possible, outdoor catering. And look, observe, ask questions. And then you decide your list of, these are the things I would like to do. And these are my whys against all things that I'm wanting to do. And at the end, it is going to make sense to you, because limited 24 hours mein aap kitna karoge, right? And then you have to also look at your health, you have to look at your other roles that you are into. So I would not give a very general answers to ye karo, aap kyun karo, wo pehle aap figure out karo, and then you find your what, which you all are capable much more than me, is what I think.
Thank you for sharing. So, how do you define success and how is it perceived within your professional content context?
Context. So I'm the one who is deciding, or my superiors are deciding it for me?
Sorry, no, you are deciding. Like, how do you want to define success into your terms?
For myself,
Exactly.
okay. Um, I think at different junctures of our life, when I have finished my education and entered into the world of job, it was little different. Success means I should be working in a five-star hotel, and the designation should be this and this. Eventually, जब वो नहीं हुआ, so plan B. What do I do? Um, ठीक है, I'll work for some other uh, uh, some other organization. And then I was like, no, that is not success. So what was success for me at that time? My father was suggesting that, you have finished your BTech, why don't you finish your MTech? Because if there is a gap, you won't be able to. So I was like, all my friends have started working. They all are earning, and I would be taking money from you. I think it's something which I'm not feeling very good about. So he said, okay, why don't you work? Why don't you study? And why don't you teach? So I was like, okay, let me figure out this. So the college time was not the entire day. So I realized that I could work, I could teach, and I could also study. So that gave me a feeling of, yeah, I'm one of the most successful people because I'm doing all three. Now, with that came an opportunity when Domino's came to the hotel where I was working. So it was like, Domino's, MNC, Tag, and somebody who is going to work for Domino's. It's like, okay, the Raja of the fast food industry at that time. I'm talking about it back in 2002, 2003. So that was something which I called success at that period of time. And then when I decided enough of the hotel industry, now what? Now the good brand of the college. So now I don't have any experience. Why would any good college hire me? Okay, whatever college is taking me, let me start my journey from there. So for 2, 3 years, the success was I'm earning and the bank balance is there, and I'm going to office every day. So after 3.5 years, again that phase came into the life where it was like, this is not making much sense to me. I want to do something more meaningful. So then came the idea of soft skills, then came the idea of facilitation, and I said, अब कुछ course करना पड़ेगा. So I got introduced to American Hotel and Lodging Association and got myself trained into the facilitation skills. So whenever I could facilitate in the class after that training, I used to feel that yes, I'm successful now. After that, one fine day, the thought came that I am from the hotel industry. I should give a last shot where I can work for Taj in some way. So Institute of Hotel Management of Taj Aurangabad, I just sent my resume there, and it is called as unsolicited job. There was no job vacancy. After 9 months, I got a call that come to Taj Mahal Mumbai for a interview. So out of I think 25, 30 people, I was the one of the three who got selected for that particular institution. I called it success at that time, that my dream came true. The money, it was not important. What was important was that I am into Taj group of hotels, and that too into their institute. From there again, when there were a lot of changes that was happening in the family life, I was like, "Ab ye bhi chhodna padega. What's next?" All right, let's move on. And then happened the soft skill training, Infosys and ILFS and Tech Mahindra. And I was like, wow, again, I'm connected to some brands. So on and off, I realized that along with the name of an institution, what you are doing with your participants, and at the end, when you come out of that classroom, if everything went well and there were happy faces in your class, I started calling that as success. And yes, enough bank balance, like I said before, that you are able to save a bit, you are able to enjoy your life a bit. But again, वो bit आपको decide करना है. For you, the bit may be dining in a five-star hotel every time. For me, the bit would be that cooking the best meal in your kitchen peacefully and enjoying it on your dining table with a candle and maybe your favorite show. So you need to decide what is it that you call success. Nobody in this world can tell you that if you do this, then only I will call you success. That's your definition, boss. That's my not definition, and I don't agree with it. So that's it. Period.
Great, very well said. So, the last question for today, like, do you agree with the notion that one's passion chooses them rather than the other way around? So, any example you can share from your professional journey to the statement?
Just repeat that question once again.
Ki your passion chooses you rather than the other way around. Like,
I think again it would vary from person to person. Coming into my own example and my own life, I was never wanting to join hotel management. I finished my plus two and then I was exploring what are the options. Um, I kind of, tried a college in Chandigarh, didn't like it. So I was like, ab kya? So I said, that culture shock was too much for me, a student of Ranchi and born and brought up in the colliery life. The culture shock was too much for me to handle at that time. I said, no, I won't be able to handle this. It's too early for me to jump from something which is a small city to a big city. So let me come down to thoda sa niche wala city where I can breathe, where I can survive. So we were looking at places, and Nagpur came into the picture. So the college, the LAD college where I have done my graduation from, this was suggested by a few of my father's friend, and we reached there. So we came to know there are only two courses. One is house and interior designing, and second is hotel management. So interior designing, engineering, drawing. I said I won't be able to handle that. So what is the other option? Hotel management. So when I got into it, I only used to think khana banana hai. But then when the entry happened, we were introduced that there are four departments plus there is a whole setup of other departments to support these four major departments, and the story started from there. One thing that my father always taught me and my brother, it was like, whatever do it with your heart, otherwise don't do it. So this mantra, I just kept it, that no work in this world is small or big. Give your 100%, do it with your heart. And probably because I entered here and I was exploring that isi ke andar, let me figure out something which could be my career ahead, which could be my life ahead, which could be my passion ahead. And I would say that eventually exploring and digging things around and figuring it out, I found my passion, which is absolutely teaching, training, facilitation, and meditation, and helping as many people as possible in whatever form I can, became the life goal. Thank you.
thank you for sharing this. So, moving ahead, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to Ms. Rikita Swaroop, soft skill trainer and consultant at Amity University, Ranchi, for being our guest for today at Conversation with Consultants. Your presence and engagement helped to make it a success. So, thank you, Ms. Rikita.
Pleasure is all mine, and thank you to Shravan and to this company to give me this opportunity, and Mr. Narendra for your constant encouragement through your chats is really, really very inspiring. Thank you.
So, thank you for providing insight into your inspirational journey. Further, we would like to thank our audience for listening patiently throughout the event. So, thank you everyone for joining with us. Looking ahead, we are excited to announce that our next episode of Conversation with Consultants will be held next weekend. So, we hope to see you all there. Thank you again, and we look forward to reconnecting with you next week. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media handles. So, thank you everyone. Have a great day.